sometimes when you're just starting out, financial freedom feels so far away, feels like almost unattainable. And so my goal is not to get people to feel like that it's something they can't achieve. But financial security is something I feel like everybody deserves, and it is very attainable. I'm all in with real estate, so I know they're going to see the benefits. I feel like people can relate to my story because, I'm not some big shot. I didn't have lots of capital. I just sort of like went along my journey, and here I am. So if there's any way I can give some guidance along the way, then I definitely am happy to do that.
I like how you say like, oh, my story is average. I'm an average person, but at the same time, you're quite the hustler, and we can see that from the beginning. Being in university, a waitress, and like looking for a B lender, like people don't even know what that is. But what do you think made the difference in your case? That well, and I'm going to put it bluntly. Then if you're so average, then why did you succeed so well? What made the difference?
So I think the difference is wanting to succeed. If you're determined to meet your goals, you will find a way. If I'm slightly committed to something, I'll slightly get results. So it's your mindset, is what are you wanting to achieve and how committed are you to achieve those goals? So for me, I was very focused. This is what I want to do. I need someone to help me get there. So having your goals, making it super clear is what is going to help you succeed. If your goals are just kind of like wishy-washy, your results will be wishy-washy as well, right? So the difference for me is that I was very clear on what I wanted to achieve. And then I went and found the resources to help me do that. So essentially, it's like working backwards, because the coach that I hired or that I worked with, she was literally my end goal. Like it was exactly what I wanted to do. So I went and I found her.
Yeah.
And people ask me that too, like, how do you find a coach that's right for you? And I always say, find the person that's doing exactly what you want to do. Not a little bit what you're trying to do, but like exactly what you want to. If you want to buy apartment buildings, make sure your coach is buying tons of apartment buildings for the last 5 years, and that's his bread and butter. If you want to do flips, maybe having a coach that's buying apartment buildings is not a good coach for you. So exactly what you're trying to achieve, that's your coach.
Mm-hmm.
Like your future self, right?
Yep.
Like you're hiring your future self to help you get there, essentially.
Yeah. Identify the destination, and then they'll help you with the transformation.
Exactly. And anybody can do it, because you're essentially modeling after your future self.
I love what you just said, Axel. That was nice. First time to hear that.
I know, it was like spontaneous too. It was weird. Oh, wow. Well, yeah. Okay, I need to write it down. But okay, so now your portfolio, you're at about like, I think 60, 65 doors.
Yes, a combined 60 something now with different joint venture partners.
Okay. And so in scaling, it obviously comes with a set of challenges, let's be honest. I'd be happy to that maybe if you could share with us like some of your struggles, because 67 doors ain't easy every day.
No, it's not. So I am very lucky because A, I enjoy real estate, and B, I love working with people, right? So those are the two main things in real estate. You need to enjoy working with people because it's a people business. You're going to be talking to contractors, partners, realtors, like everybody, right? So one of the challenges is essentially coordination, I find. So you have to really set up your systems properly. And I mean, I don't manage all of those properties myself. I am passive in some of the deals and I'm active in some of the other deals because I like my money working all the time. So if I don't have a deal for myself, but I have the capital and someone comes along with a great deal, I'm going to invest with them because the chances are we're probably going to do another deal together at a future date. So it's very much flexible in terms of my partnerships. But one of the challenges I'm going to say is definitely coordination. You really need to figure out how to time manage properly. And I am an excellent time manager, I guess, because I allocate everything in essentially like 15-minute increments. And you kind of have to, because you have to put in what your priorities are first,
Yeah.
and then the fillers, right? So time management is definitely an issue, but if you can master that, you can do anything. And then essentially learning to speak to people based on their communication language. Essentially, like if someone is very focused on numbers, you have to adapt to communicating and sharing projection and things like that, because that's what's going to make them comfortable in working with you. And if someone's more of like a visual person, then making sure you're showing the pictures of the befores and afters and things like that. So one of the challenges is essentially learning to work with the different personalities and adapting your communication style to those personalities, for sure. And then the follow-up, it's really important to consistently follow up on your contractors and investors and making sure that you follow through and on all your commitments. Like, you don't want to be someone that says they're going to send something and then it's like 3 days later. So I'm like, it's crucial for me. If I say I'm going to do something, it happens, because to me, integrity is everything. And so that sort of is what builds trust in partnerships. So those are some key tips and challenges and how to overcome them. Essentially, master your time, communicate effectively, and follow up consistently.
Which one was the hardest for you to overcome?
I think for me personally is learning the different communication styles, because I'm a type of personality. So for me, I really had to sort of re-strategize the way I communicate. If somebody is like super visual or like super I don't know, like specific in their numbers and things like that, I have to break everything down and just having like all those different styles ready to go, so I don't have to recreate like the different projects and things like that. So now in let's say one presentation, I will make sure that I encompass all of the different personalities in that one deck, essentially. So it hits everybody's communication style.
Yeah, I find it's fascinating how we start with real estate, and yeah, we're buying brick and a roof and stuff, but we're really just entrepreneurs, and you have to get good at every aspect, or you surround yourself with, but you have to be a generalist and understand the numbers and the operations and the acquisition and so on. And just, what you said about, when you prepare a pitch deck, some people go just super numbers or super text, or some, which is kind of my case, like just a lot more pictures and graphs and visuals. And then, because I personally hate it when someone's like pitching me something and they don't even look at me and they're like, oh, but look on the spreadsheet. It's like, stop the spreadsheet, look at me and talk to me like I'm a 7-year-old. Okay. If you can't do this, I don't think we can do business together.
Exactly. Yes. And you have to be able to understand that, right? Like, if you're focused on only speaking in the way that you speak, and you're not, integrating all the different communication styles, it's not going to work, because they're not going to hear what you're saying. So I think that's really important. And that doesn't apply just to real estate. This applies to like your everyday life, right? Like, this is how we build relationships. When you speak to someone and you can tell that their communication style is different from you, you have to adapt, because they may not be aware that that's their style. But if you have the ability to quickly pick up on that, and you can switch your communication style, it's just going to be a much more fluid relationship, for sure. Yeah.
Danielle, we're talking before, the coaching, mentoring, and networking. Do you participate into a women's group, or coaching women to become entrepreneurs or real estate?
Yes, actually, we, myself and 2 other women from Ottawa, we actually co-founded a women's organization here in Ottawa. So it's called the Women's Investors Network in Canada. And we're based in Ottawa, but we host monthly events. They're also virtual right now. So that way we can reach women across Canada. So it's really amazing. We had our first event in December when we were still allowed to have like larger gatherings. And we had over 50 women show up and connect and support each other. It's phenomenal. And last month in January, we had an online meetup and there were over 80 women across Canada who showed up. And so it is definitely growing, and we would love to, continue and just have more reach, because I know there's a lot of women who are on the fence and they feel like they're starting their real estate journey alone. And I just want to let them know that they're not. Like, there's a whole community of us, and we're reaching out as much as we can so that people can, feel confident and comfortable coming to us for help.
Mm-hmm. And
you think with a wig and nicely shaved, Axel can join, or
you can definitely come check us out. It's definitely somewhere we just want to support women, right? And just encourage them. Yeah.
Actually, it's funny you say that, Dino, because you and I are both due to go to Ottawa to go to a real estate event. I'm so happy that you're encouraging women. I find we as investors, as a community, we need to make a lot more of an active effort to encourage women to do it, because it's going to sound very basic, but we all know if you just educate women, the entire society is better off. And we've made that mistake for too long, and we really, really, really need to encourage it.
I think that's amazing that you said that, because I think, the more people that are involved in real estate, the better it is for everybody. But women also, they tend to take care of their families too, right? In addition of everything, they just want to grow and support the community. And lots of research have shown that. I think, because I'm a girl, that's another organization, and that's sort of their focus, because even in other countries, they've noticed that when you educate women, the whole community benefits, because it's just different, right? Mm-hmm. So essentially that is our goal. And the biggest thing for me is just making women feel comfortable, because a lot of times they're not comfortable coming out and saying, okay, I'm thinking of investing, I just don't know where to start. So I want them to have sort of like a point of contact if they ever want to make that step and just start investing. So that's kind of our goal at Wink, and hopefully we continue to grow across Canada and just have amazing support.
It's called the Wink.
Wink, yeah. So Women Investors Network in Canada, or Win Canada, right? So
nice.
That's a good one. I don't know if you accept men at the event, but Dino and I should definitely drop by at some point. It'd be really fun.
I'll have to confirm with the co-founders.
There you go. Exactly. You let us know.
Sounds good.
Guest speakers. That's it.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
All right. And then I had another question for you. Actually, I have two more questions for you. One of them is, what is it that we can wish you?
Oh, well, I think just honestly, I believe in gratitude. Like, I practice gratitude all the time. So if we're all just thankful, whether it's to me or anybody in the real estate community, if you can wish more, I guess, connections, networking, anything like that coming my way, going out, I think that's more than enough that I can ask for.
Okay.
I'll go for the last one. I know where he's going. Danielle, where can people find out more about you?
Of course. I'm quite active on Instagram. So my handle is @Danielle.Unsworth. And you can also find me on my website. It's DanielleUnsworth.com. And by email, it's very easy, invest@DanielleUnsworth.com. So my name's just everywhere. Makes it easy to remember.
I've been following you for a while now on IG.
Thank you.
Me too. And I have to comment, like, your reels are great. And sometimes I look at it, I'm like, damn, I kind of wish I had, the time, the energy, and the will to do it, because I know that's the proper way to develop and stuff, but I'm like, oh man. So I applaud you for it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Believe it or not, I started the account last year and I didn't even know what the difference was between like a post and a story. So going through that discomfort of being on social media was a really like big deal for me. And that's why I always tell people like share your story because you don't know who's watching, who's going to be inspired, right? And I was super shy last year. Like every time I posted a picture, I would look at it. I'm like, oh, should I delete this? Does this even make sense? And now I just post it and, you know, it reaches whoever it reaches. And I've been getting lots of positive feedback and it is inspiring other people to take action. So essentially like, that's what keeps me going.
Better done than perfect.
Exactly.
I
Just
love
send
that
it out.
saying. I love that saying. I've been using it with my kids too sometimes. All
Yes,
right.
and my kids watch my reels, so I mean they don't get all the jokes, but it's pretty good.
Danielle, it's been a real pleasure. Thank you very much for today's interview. Thank you to Dino as well. Always fun to have you here. And to everyone listening, as you know, if you'd like to keep supporting us, please leave us a rating, subscribe to the show, share it with a friend, and especially in this case, it's a very inspiring episode. So just pick like 3 friends that have been wanting to invest in real estate and just send it to them and force them to listen to it. There you go. On this wonderful note, we'll talk to you again next week. Now go make some offers. Peace.
Peace.